Namaskar. It is true that the humanity today faces the unprecedented challenge of COVID-19. What's also true and that we are all united in this fight against the disease outbreak. We're all doing our bit. Doctors on the front lines, administration, the essential goods supplier, sanitation workers are all doing their jobs. We're also stopping any potential spread of the disease by staying at home. We at Doordarshan News and DD India have the possibility of providing updated news and facts about this COVID-19 disease. And that's the reason behind the special program Doctors Speak. Every day at 2 in the afternoon, we come to you live with our medical experts. Now, this is a program that's a platform where we get a chance to seek expert advice to clear all the doubts about COVID-19 that you may have. So please call us on our numbers. That's 011-233-87031 and 011-2309-7655. I'll repeat those numbers for you to get your calls to us in this 1 hour. That's 011-233-87031 and 011-2309-7655. Our lines are open now and that will remain open for an hour till 3 in the afternoon. Call us and ask all your concerns, your questions that you may have. Your questions will enable us, all of us, to understand the coronavirus that we're all dealing with in a much better way. I welcome our guests, doctors here present in the studio with us here, Dr. Aparna Agrawal. She's from the Lady Hardinge Medical College. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us here on Doordarshan News. And we're also joined by Dr. Suri. He's the former doctor with the Safdarjung Hospital. And in fact, we'll also be joined by Dr. Gupta in just a bit from now. We'll in fact go to him. But first, let me get in before we get all our calls live from all of you in this 1 hour and have your questions asked with the doctors present here. First, let me begin with Dr. Aparna Agrawal. Dr. Agrawal, we are nearing the lockdown. We're all aware of the stage that we are at, with many cases reported and fatalities as well. What, starting with, in the beginning of the show, what would your advice be as far as containment measures are concerned? Of course, all the citizens of this country are doing really well by staying safe and staying home.
Staying safe, staying home is extremely important. Don't allow anyone to come and don't go out unless it is absolutely essential. That also maintain hand hygiene, maintain respiratory hygiene and social distancing. The second important change that has occurred now with the increase in cases is a recommendation for masks for everybody. When we step out of the house, we must use a mask to cover our nose and our mouth. That's true for everybody so that we don't get the virus and we don't give the virus. And third are the guidelines for testing, which have increased now. They have been made a little more liberal than they were initially based on the number of cases that we are seeing now. So these are the three changes that have occurred with the changing times that we are seeing and the disease spread that we are seeing now.
All right, Dr. Suri, your comments here. Ma'am just mentioned about the masks, which have also been made mandatory in Delhi, NCR and other states as well. And there are concerns amongst people. What mask should it be? Should it be a handmade mask that one can make at home? Should it be an N95? Should it be an N99? And what would your suggestion here be for everyone to wear a mask? Of course, it's been made mandatory now, but what kind of a mask should be sufficient?
See, as you have rightly mentioned, there are three types of masks. One is the N95 or N99, which is little better than the N95. These masks are to be worn only by doctors who are working in the intensive care unit or in the ward and are actively involved in the management of COVID-19 patients. Then we have the surgical mask, which is a 3-layered mask, which is again being used by mainly healthcare workers who are involved in the care of the patients. But this mask can be worn by people, general people, when they are going out into the crowded places. Since now, as the new advisory which you have just mentioned in the last 2 days is that everybody who is going out of the home has to wear a mask, is a very, very important advisory. And this is based on 2-3 findings. One, it has been seen that when we cough or when we sneeze or even when we talk, we bring out a spray,
Sure.
a droplet spray.
Right.
And previously we used to think that it's a droplet infection, and it remains within 3 feet of our body, you know, and then it falls on the surfaces. But there is also a feeling that there may be some smaller droplet nuclei which may remain suspended in the air for few hours and which can actually travel to the longer distance. The other thing is that there are people who are not suffering from any disease.
Right.
They are in the early asymptomatic stage. When they are talking, they may also release these small droplets and which can contains viruses. So the idea is that if you are wearing mask, then first of all you are protecting yourself from the others.
Right.
The second thing is that suppose you are yourself a carrier of this virus and is still asymptomatic.
You're stopping the spread
Then
of
you are
this infection.
stopping
Sure,
the spread
right.
to the others.
Another concern that you know, that may be there in everyone's mind, and that's in fact in my mind as well. How should we really be maintaining these masks? Is you know, is washing the masks that are washable something that we can do and we should do, or you know, for people who are using a use and throw mask, of course this is not this is something that they don't have to do. But for people using surgical masks, Dr. Suri, how should they really maintain keeping those masks for this during this period?
See, the surgical masks you cannot wash, they are
Okay.
disposable,
Okay.
and they have to be thrown after each use
Okay.
or once they become soggy. But for general public, as the advisory is that when they are going out of home, and particularly if they are going to places where they are not able to maintain social distance, you can even use a homemade
Okay.
mask, and
Okay.
there is a government advisory on the type of cloth which you can use. Here the different cloths have been tried, and it has been found that 100% cotton,
Okay.
which you know you can use your old vest or handkerchiefs, the cotton material you at home, and how to prepare this mask are also has been.
So once you go
given
out
listed.
and you are back home, should you be washing it? Should you be washing these homemade masks then?
Yeah, there are 3 ways you can maintain these masks, because these are reusable masks.
Okay.
One thing you can actually, when you come home, you just remove and wash it in soap and water.
I see.
And hang it in the sun for about 5 hours.
Right.
If that thing is not possible, then you can boil it for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Or the third thing is that you can put it in the pressure cooker
Okay.
and boil it under pressure for about 10 minutes.
Very useful suggestions there, Dr. Suri, as far as maintaining these masks are concerned. So take care as when you are maintaining, you know, wearing these masks, because even when you go out, you should come back and make sure that those are clean from all the germs that you might have, you know, you might have attracted when you're out. So come back and do make sure to sanitize or to clean your mask that you may be wearing when outside. And in fact, at this point in time, we're also joined by Dr. Yashdeep Gupta. He's in fact endocrinologist. Thank you very much, Dr. Gupta, for joining us here on Doordarshan News and DD India this afternoon. So,
Thanks,
you know,
Doctor.
yeah. So, doctor, you know, the main concern also remains for people with underlying medical conditions, whether it's diabetes or it's a blood pressure or any other health disease that one may be suffering from. They need to be all the more alert and all the more cautious during these difficult times that we're all facing. What would your advice be, doctor, to people there with underlying medical conditions?
See, the patients who are having the underlying diseases like diabetes, hypertension, the immunity and the status is already down. So the ability of the body to fight with the infection is actually low. So there are chances that virus body it settles down more easily, replicates easily, and then results in the manifestations which are more drastic as compared to the people without other diseases. So it is important for all and one that we should avoid getting into the trouble of getting infection. But obviously the people with diabetes who are elderly, having comorbidities, having complications, uncontrolled glycemic status should be more alert as compared to the other people.
And you know, talking about immunity, because that's said to be the core of our body and everything depends on our immunity, and you know, we realize the importance of our immunity in these unprecedented difficult times before us. How should one really be enhancing, increasing the immunity of our body that is so very critical to our existence in today's times?
It depends on our nutritional status, maintains a good lifestyle, healthy diet, means pay attention to antioxidants, different minerals and vitamins which are easily available in the different cereals, milk, fruits, increase the antioxidants rich foods like citrus fruits. So these could help in boosting the immunity. For the people who are having like underlying diabetes, is very important to control their glycemic status, control their blood pressure, because these also adversely affect the immunity status once the virus enters in. So you need to pay attention to your diet, lifestyle, stress, sleep hygiene, and simultaneously you have to work out for your glycemic status, blood pressure control, and seek medical advice if they are uncontrolled at the earliest. That are the key points for the people with diabetes or underlying diseases.
Okay. All right, Dr. Gupta, request you to please continue being with us. Dr. Agrawal, ma'am, here, like Dr. Gupta mentioned about the importance of the criticality of immunity here, and, workout is also considered to be working for the good of the immunity. It's very important to stay physically active, apart from being stress-free, taking quality sleep, eating nutritious, healthy food. Working out is something that we should all be doing, and especially so in these difficult times, to make sure that our immunity remains intact. And in these conditions, when we are unable to go out and really work out, or go for a run, or go to our gyms, or to our fitness studios, what's the workout or even the yoga regime that we can incorporate in our daily lives to make sure that we stay physically active throughout the day?
Actually, all your channels are showing, they have a lot of sessions on exercise which you can do at home. You have yoga practices which you can follow. You can switch on your TVs and do it with it. Or if you have some aerobic exercises routine, they're also there. You can walk in the house, you can walk on your terrace, you can walk in your garden if you're in the ground floor, your own gardens. So there are many ways in which you can exercise, and people are helping you do it. There are many trainers who are giving online sessions. You can link up with them and follow that exercise routine with this. So I think it is a must for all of us to do some form of exercise routinely, daily, even while being at home, and it is possible.
Okay.
I think,
yes, Dr. Suri.
Yeah, I think the another thing which you just mentioned about quality of sleep, this is a very, very important component of our daily life. And we spend 1/3 of our life in sleep. And sleep is a very, very important time when our immunity builds up.
And our body is restored.
Body is physically, mentally, psychologically, your body is restored. And the most important thing is that our immune system builds up during sleep, and our ability to fight bacterial and viral infection enhances. So it is very important for us to maintain a good sleep habit during this period, because since you are at home, most of your body schedules can go
for a
out of sync. Your wake up time, your sleep time, your food.
And that is why, Dr. Suri, maintaining a schedule, a fitness regime in these times, because many people are at home these days. They're working from home, so the schedule does tend to go a bit haywire. So how important would you say is it to stick to one schedule that you can adhere to every day?
Yeah, in fact, you should continue with the same schedule which you have been following so far, because there are many people who are working from home. In fact, they should not be working on their bedroom or on their bed. They should wake up, take bath, and make an environment like your office. They should sit on chair, table, and work for the same number of hours which they have been doing in the office. So I think maintaining meals time, wake up time, work period, and then physical activity, good exposure to sunlight. This is another thing very important, because if
vitamin D.
You remain indoors these days, so you must get some time to go out. Go out doesn't mean going out on the road.
And use this opportunity to soak in the sun.
Yes, be it through your windows or from your balconies, or you can go out around your home. So you must get enough sunlight so that your sleep becomes very good. If you have a good exposure to sun, your melatonin, which induces sleep, there is a good secretion of that at
That's a
bedtime.
hormone.
Yeah.
That's a sleep hormone.
Yeah,
For
normal
the
sleep-
benefit of our
normal sleep
viewers,
hormone.
that's a sleep hormone.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's in fact go across to Dr. Gupta as well, who is there on Skype with us. Dr. Gupta, you know, in these difficult, challenging times here, many people are also getting anxious about you know, what happens next. They're you know, they're very curious about the future in today's world. You know, how should one really cope with the stress that's coming with COVID-19 pandemic, and how to really reduce the anxiety, the mental anxiety that is, and stress that's coming with it?
I future. I think it's important the efforts means which he has learned from his difficult times, how to cope up with the situation, and simultaneously learn new experiences, how to cope up with means this. But what is pay to be done on day-to-day basis? On a day-to-day basis, attention to our need, to our attention for a sound sleep. We have to pay attention to listen for the informative news and not get preoccupied with the news which troubles us again and again. So
Sure.
there is no need
Very
for like
important.
having an update, means every hourly updates. Once a day's update is enough for the COVID, but we need to be updated what government says, what our social responsibilities are at present days. So means basically to concentrate for the today's work, not for the future. I think it's important to pay attention,
Yeah.
means for day-to-day problems rather than thinking more about the future at this present.
Right, absolutely. Dr. Suri, your advice here, you know, one shouldn't really get too anxious about the future. Stay and live in present is what Dr. Gupta's advice is for our viewers. What would you say, Dr. Suri, to reduce this anxiety, this stress that, you know, everyone's really dealing with? How should one really switch off their mind? What would your advice be?
See, it is very natural that in these difficult times you are likely to be anxious because the stress of what is going to happen, staying at home, job loss, financial loss, 24 hours stressful news, all these things are going to, you know, increase
To
our
add up to the
stress
mental
level. You know,
pressure,
they are going
yes.
to. So, what is important is that you should not be, first of all, glued to the TV throughout the day. You should fix up a time to get your news, you know, maybe once or twice in the day. Engage yourself into relaxing activities, you know, reading, seeing some movie,
Meditation,
talking
how
to
much
family.
importance would you attach to meditation here? And you know, one at this time when one cannot really go out or seek meditation from a personal guru or a personal teacher, but we all have these play stores from where we can download these very useful meditation, you know, the initiatives. How much importance would you attach to meditating and staying calm in this very important times, Dr.
This
Suri?
is really very important, you know. You know, meditation, when we say that, many people may think that probably it is something very technical and they may not be able to do
But
it.
I have tried
under
it and I can tell
supervision.
you it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what you can do simple is, I think, deep breathing. You know, it's also a form of meditation. So whenever people feel anxious, whenever they feel tense, they can do deep breathing exercises. So it is basically 4-7-8 formula, what we say. You slowly breathe in 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds,
And you breathe out in
and
8
slowly
seconds.
breathe out in
Right.
8 seconds.
Okay.
You know.
Dr.
So this
Suri
has a
will come back
meditating
and
effect.
talk about this very important points you're making here, but we have a caller joining us at this time. Dr. Raju Damodar is joining us from Amravati. Good afternoon, Dr. Damodar. Please go ahead and ask your
Good
question.
afternoon, madam. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah. I have not question. Actually, I have the one suggestion.
Sure.
I am working as an intensivist in my place, and in last 2-3 years, I have did some ARDS patients, some septicemia patients, and many serious patients. With my treatment, without ventilator, I have treated that patient. I have one procedure.
Okay.
I am doing that procedure, and patient will get settled in 24 hours without any big investigations, big drugs, and patient will get all right in 24 hours. This is the big achievement I have did, and I want to spread that anybody want to learn this. It is a practical procedure. So I want to give that practical procedure to every doctor of the Indian community.
Okay.
So it can get the chance without ventilator, they can manage all the ARDS
Sure,
patients.
sure. All right, well, that's a very great input, Dr. Damodar. Thanks very much. And of course, I am hoping that the doctors and our viewers watching our channel at this time will keep that in mind. Thanks, Dr. Damodar, for those inputs. In fact, we have a next caller, Mr. Amit, joining us from Ranchi. Yes, Mr. Amit, please go ahead, ask your question.
मैम मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये कॉन्वेसेंट प्लाज्मा थ्योरी क्या है और इंडिया इसको लेके क्या स्टेप उठा रहा है?
Okay. All right, we'll have that question asked by Dr. Suri. Dr. Suri, if you could answer that, the theory that Mr. Amit is talking about.
No, I think he is talking about plasma therapy.
Plasma therapy, yes.
It's a therapy actually given for seriously ill patients. It's not yet formally started, you know.
Chronic patients.
Okay. No. It's basically those patients who have already suffered from COVID-19.
Okay.
So they develop antibodies against this disease. So if you want to take out antibodies from the patients who have already suffered and give it to the patients who are seriously ill, that is what is the plasma therapy. You know, basically taking antibodies from the patient who has already suffered to someone who is suffering. So this is a therapy which is now being tried at few places, and I think in India, in Kerala, the trial is being started for this thing, and I think we have to know more about it in future. What will be the way, how we are going to start this therapy, what should be the dose, how much plasma has to be taken.
Has it been already
all these
administered to patients,
No,
or
no.
is it still under research?
It has been given to some places outside India.
Okay.
In India, it has not yet started. I think in Kerala, the ICMR project is going to start, and we'll know more about it in future.
Okay. All right, Mr. Amit, I hope that answers your question about the plasma therapy that you had asked our doctors here. In fact, we'll have more callers, and we do hope that you will also call in and ask your question. All right, let's go across to Dr. Gupta for the timing, who is joining us by on the Skype. Dr. Gupta, we were talking about, you know, how important it is in these times to stay positive, stay home, stay safe, but very important it is to stay positive and not think too much about the future. Is something that you also mentioned, and you know, since you deal with cases which are of course people who are diabetic, people who are suffering from hypertension, or you know, or seriously ill patients, how special extra care should they be taking at this point, you know, maintaining good hygiene, staying physically active and taking healthy meals, nutritious and timely meals? What would you say to these patients? Of course, apart from taking their medicines on time, what would your advice be?
Basically, there are like, if talk about the diabetes, hypertension, there are practically 8 learning points to be practiced at this point. One is a timely, healthy and food. Second, they can do the medication, yoga, or the stretching or the flexibility exercise as per their convenience and their previous learning. Third is to indulge in smoking, not to indulge in any alcohol. Then pay to your stress levels. Don't indulge in any activities, or notice what activities can result stress. Avoid that stress related activities, and simultaneously indulge what gives you pleasure. That is a 5th point. 6th is a sleep hygiene. And 7th, you do a regular monitoring for your blood pressure, regular monitoring for the blood glucose values. If they are not able to control yourself, then seek the medical help at earliest. That are the key 8 points for the persons with the diabetes or hypertension to pay attention to at this moment.
Okay. All right, Dr. Gupta, thanks for that advice. In fact, we have our next caller, Mr. Iqbal, joining us from Ludhiana. Good afternoon, Mr. Iqbal. Please have your question asked.
नमस्कार मैडम जी, डॉक्टर साहब को भी नमस्कार। इकबाल सिंह, मेन बाजार हटूर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट लुधियाना। क्वेश्चन वी यूज होम क्लॉथ स्टिचिंग मास्क की ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਬਣਾਏ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਦੇ ਮਾਸਕ ਵੀ ਵਰਤ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੈਕੰਡ क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि ਇਹਦੀ कोई मतलब मेडिसिन वगैरह तो नहीं है, एक घर में रहना, सेफ रहना, सैनिटाइजर की वरतों करना। एक क्वेश्चन ये है भी हम हॉट वाटर, हॉट टी, हॉट मिल्क और स्टीम वगैरह ले सकते हैं जी? ये सभी हमें मतलब ये बरत सकते हैं जी? बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू।
Okay. All right, Mr. Iqbal will have that questions put forth to our doctors. Dr. Agrawal, your comments here. So important concern has come up in this show that we were discussing earlier about the homemade mask. He's asking what would you advise to him?
Homemade masks can be washed at home. It is important, as Dr. Suri already said, that we need to boil them for at least 15 minutes after one use.
I think he was asking if we can use homemade masks.
Yes, he can definitely use homemade masks. You can definitely use, in fact, for the public, what is recommended is using homemade masks. Leave the 3-layered surgical masks for the doctors, healthcare workers and sanitation workers. So, you should use homemade masks. You should keep at least 2 masks for each individual in the family. Do not mix up masks of different individuals in the family. After using one mask, once you have used it, wash it properly and then reuse it only after it is fully dry. And meanwhile, if you need to use it, use the other mask that you have prepared for yourself.
And next question also, Dr. Suri, that he was asking whether we should use hot water and gargle, you know, as far as, and taking steam is something that he was also concerned about. Dr. Suri.
Yeah, I think lot of people are doing these things. There is no scientific evidence to show that
the
this
virus
thing is
dies
going to
with the hot steam.
with the hot steam or this thing, but as long as it can be done safely, there is no harm in using it if they want to use it.
Right.
But we can't say for sure.
There is no scientific,
this
it's
thing
not
that
scientifically proven.
that this is going to kill the virus.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Iqbal, who joined us from Ludhiana earlier on. We have our next caller, Dr. Krishna Machari, joining us from Karnataka. Yes, Dr. Krishna Machari, your question, please. Dr. Krishnacharya, can you hear me? Can you ask your question? Yes, please go ahead with your question, sir.
See, my question is, why the source of infection is human beings now?
Sorry, if you
So
could
why
ask that
you are
again.
not wearing compulsory outside the house this mask or inside the house also, so that we can prevent the spread at the source itself.
Right.
See, washing hands or maintaining distance has got its own disadvantages. To err is human. So I myself cannot practice hand washing and keeping distance everywhere. See, I may forget. So why I think wearing mask must be made compulsory.
At home also, okay. All right, Dr. Krishnacharya, we'll have that question asked from you. In fact, Dr. Suri, what would your advice be here? He's concerned about wearing masks at home. He's he's admitting that maintaining distance or washing hands is not that possible for him. So should he be wearing a mask when he's inside the home?
Yeah, that will be, I think, useful only if somebody at home is suffering from the disease. Right now, we are not keeping any patient at home. They are being isolated. But if they want to wear it, it is good because there may be some asymptomatic carrier also at home.
Sure.
The another thing, you know what, I just want to tell you why this advisory has come. It has been seen, and although this is more related to influenza, that if 50% of the population wears mask, then there is a 50% reduction in the transmission of this infection. And if 80% of the population wears mask, then the further transmission of epidemic or pandemic stops there.
Something that's already followed in Japan, Dr.
that
Suri,
is
you know,
where it
because
has
when
been seen.
people are unwell there, they themselves first start wearing the mask to not spread the infection from further spreading to other people. So that's something that you're talking about.
Yes, so these are the studies from Japan and other countries where by convention or by habit or by behavior people wear these masks.
So if we take the example of Japan, for example, I was reading an article the other day which said that certain practices are already followed. It's a part of their culture, it's a part of their tradition. They don't shake hands, they bow to greet you. They are already, even when they're traveling in tube or metro, they're wearing masks. If they're feeling unwell, they wear masks so that to stem the spread of any infection, flu or influenza or anything. So should these habits in fact become a daily part of our life? This is the lesson that we are going ahead with as far as these difficult times are teaching us.
Yeah, I think this is very important. and that is in fact the observation which we have seen that in countries where people as a part of their habit or culture wears mask, the prevalence of infection is at much lower level.
Right.
Second thing is that the other two things, wearing mask alone is not enough. You must do hand washing frequently as well as social distancing. Now one thing more is that however hard we may try, we still will touch our face or our mouth. So if you wear this mask acts as a barrier, physical barrier. So even if you are touching, then you are not going to touch your face or your eyes or your nose. So this will help in that way.
So
also.
this will reduce. Okay, all right. We have a next caller, Dr. Ramesh Thakkar, joining us from Maharashtra. Dr. Thakkar, good afternoon. Please go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. It has been observed that people are moving around as a morning walk, evening walk, and they are bringing the dust or coronavirus infection at their home without putting their shoes or chappals outside. They enter inside and they bring this infection at home. So can you put the message for the same, please?
All right, absolutely. Very important point that you're bringing to our, in fact, to our attention as well, Dr. Thakkar. In fact, very important there. If you are going out to buy any essential, make sure that as soon as you're back, first take off your slippers or any footwear that you're wearing and then only enter inside. And first of all, very important, in fact, Dr. Agrawal, you would agree here that, one of the initial advisories, many medical advisories have been issued till now, and the most important is to remove your footwear, come inside, wash your clothes with a Dettol or a detergent, and then only change, and then if you want to communicate with the people of the house, and then only do it. Of course, washing hands, taking bath, very important.
Yes, and more so for hospital healthcare workers, sanitation workers, that is even more important. So in fact, for people from healthcare segment, they recommend keeping a basket outside where you can keep all your belongings. One, carry minimal things to the hospital, and then second, when you come back, keep all the things outside. Let it dry up for some time before you take it in. And shoes and footwear definitely you should keep out. Change out of the hospital gear immediately after coming in, have a bath, change out of that gear, wash hands properly after coming into the house before we touch anything else.
And Dr. Agrawal,
and after walk also, your question was regarding the walk.
Walks, yes.
So we have to avoid going out to the parks for walk. As we said earlier, better to walk inside the house, in the balconies, on the terrace, if it is restricted to you. If you have a ground floor house, then you can walk in your garden.
And Dr. Agrawal, another concern that viewers have been asking is about the stuff that they're bringing from outside, whether it's vegetable or milk or even medicines, the bag that they're carrying it in and bringing home. How should they be taking care? How should we all be taking care of those bags? Because those bags could be plastic bags, those bags could be paper bags. Should we throw them away the moment they are brought in, or should we just keep it like that? What should we do with those bags?
Better to throw them into a closed bin, and the other packets which are polythene or metallic, they can be washed with soap and water under the water. All vegetables can be washed in running water properly like we do normally. And most vegetables we cook and eat. Cooking should be at least at 70 degrees. We can have salads after proper washing. That of course we take without cooking, so that is okay to take it like that.
Okay.
But washing has to be proper. And with good hand hygiene. That is also important.
Absolutely. All right, we'll have more callers joining us and calling in at this point, but in fact, let's have those basic concerns asked. Dr. Suri, we were earlier talking about how important it is to stay stress-free and to stay physically active, and you were emphasizing the importance of meditation and staying calm, because at this point where people are staying home, people are quarantined, they're either working from home. So how should they be, they really be maintaining that safe distancing from each other in the house as well, but at the same time stay, stay occupied and stay busy, not just watching TV, that cannot be the only source of entertainment, but what more habits should one be inculcating to make sure that they are mentally, sound and calm?
Yeah, it is very important to engage in all relaxing activities. They can be, reading, listening to music, talking to your family members, talking to old friends, or you can actually revive your old hobbies, which you have not been able to practice for a long period of time, like playing on a musical instrument and this thing. When you do these things, this one thing is that you distract yourself, and you don't think about stressful thinking. So that way you help yourself, and when you talk to others, you also in a way de-stress others people. So that's I think one of the very important things which you can do on daily basis, to keep yourself relaxed and occupied.
Another important message that you would like to give out, Dr. Suri, because people might tend to get bogged down because people are so used to meeting, people are so used to meeting each other, people are so used to going out, having lunches, having dinners, having other people over, having their friends and families, relatives over. What would your important advice and important message there out to be to people to not really get bogged down, rather constructively and positively use this time to build on, doing something that perhaps they never had the time or chance to do it? Dr.
Yeah,
Suri.
because as I said, these are unusual times, so you have unusual opportunities also, during this time. So it is very important to stay at home. You should not be going out and mixing with people. But that does not mean that you should not communicate with the people. So you can talk to them on phone, on Skype,
video call, yes.
on Skype, video calls, and engage yourself with all the activities except for the fact that you are not meeting them physically.
Sure. Dr. Agrawal, your comments here, how to stay positive?
Stay connected, keep doing something instead of just sitting idle, and you can be in touch even with a group. It is not just on phone directly. These days you have got so many apps like House Party, Zoom parties, you can have Zoom meetings. So you can do all your work through these. And it is very relaxing. And many of my friends and relatives have said they have contacted their old friends whom they were always wanting to be in touch, not doing it. Now they've got the time to do it.
Absolutely.
And it was really nice doing that.
Absolutely.
So it is good.
Yes, sure. All right, we have a next caller joining us from Mumbai, Mr. Mahesh Vaidya. Yes, Mr. Vaidya, good afternoon. Please have your question asked. What's your question?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, doctor. Basically, I do not have a question. I just have a small message to give to the doctors. Firstly, a round of applause, because the doctors, the police, all the authorities, media, the news channels, everyone is doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
And, you guys are working in, day out for us, to be safe at home. My only message through your channel and through the doctors is to those people who are like, we don't care about what's happening, because the area, I won't name the place where I stay in Mumbai, but I see a lot of people roaming around without masks and, spitting on the streets, and, a lot of stuff happens that is, which is unethical actually, So I just want to convey through your media channel that, these guys don't do this, because it's for the betterment of everyone. And, let's try to fight it out, and let's, these doctors who are on the screens, who are fighting in day out, they're not doing it for themselves, they're doing it for us.
Yeah, yes.
The media, they're risking their lives, they're coming over, all the way from their homes, risking themselves. So guys, let's fight it out, And I just wanted to say thank you. That's it.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Vaidya. It was great to talk to you for those kind words of appreciation that you have for the corona warriors at this point in time, whether it be doctors, health workers, sanitation workers, or even for people like us in the news. We are keeping the country informed. Thanks very much. In fact, we are expressing a gratitude to you for your kind words of appreciation. Thanks very much. All right, ma'am, you were making your point there. Okay, let's first go across to Dr. Gupta here. Dr. Gupta, we were talking about how important it is to stay positive, stay connected, but do not feel bogged down here. What would your important advice be there, as far as keeping connected and staying positive at the same time is so very critical?
So basically, I will advise that the patient that wants to pay attention to the, I think voice is Hello.
Can you hear me now?
So basically, I wish that one should pay attention to their own working schedule, can connect meetings through Zoom or Skype, should pay adequate attention to their entertainment time, should pay adequate attention to their family, should mix with the family members. I think this is good opportunity. And fourth is stay informative. Do watch for the information that government is releasing or the healthcare facilities are releasing. I think I will divide my time into these four means important domains.
Sure. Okay. All right. All right, Dr. Agrawal, my question to you is how important is it in these difficult times to provide comfort to each other in the family, because you have kids with you, they may be curious as to what really is happening. Many of them may not understand what the situation is. So how important it is to make the kids at home understand the gravity of the situation, and at the same time it's so important to deal with the elderly, because these two sections are the most vulnerable and they are the most, people who don't really tend to understand the gravity of the situation because of their lack of comprehension power. So how can one deal with these strata of society, the kids and the elderly, parents or grandparents? How should they be dealing with them?
I think with kids, it is important to involve them in household activities and other things. Also, staying at home, for people who are staying at home, they've got more time to spend with the kids, so they should be able to take care of that. So if we spend time with the kids, play with them and involve them in the daily routine, I think to quite some extent they are okay. And they can use the balcony for taking in some air, some games which can be played there. So some activity, some exercise which can be done in the balconies, on the terrace or just outside the house for ground floor people, it should help in this. Regarding elderly, again, some of them are used to walking out, so that routine is definitely is disrupted.
Meeting people of their own age group.
Meeting people of their own age group, that is not possible. But many houses, if they've got their sons and daughters who are at home now, I think that gives them a big relief, because they do have company in the form of people who are working from home or at home.
Sure.
So that's a bonus. So both the things, I think, can balance out the positives and the negatives of this.
Okay, absolutely. Dr. Suri, your advice here?
Yeah, the other things which I would say that to stay calm is not using too much of stimulants. When you are at home, you are likely to consume more tea, coffee, than this thing, and some people may actually take too much alcohol in this thing. So these are very important things. So maybe 2 to 3 cups of tea or coffee should be enough. One should
very
not
important
take,
point.
One
Yes.
should not take the stimulant after say 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, because then it is going to disturb your sleep.
Yes.
Many people think that alcohol would be a good sleep inducer. Well, consuming alcohol can make you some drowsy, but then it disrupts your sleep. So your sleep is fragmented, and usually you wake up unrefreshed and groggy, and this leads to more anxiety and depression. So these are other important things which one should avoid. Too much this thing. So because you are at home, so every 2 to 3 hours you would like to eat something unusual things. So weight gain is another problem which one has to take care of. For these things.
Sure, absolutely. Very valid points there happening with all of us here. Dr. Suri, what would you say about counseling sessions that are taking place online? Because it's very important for people to hear the voice from an expert as to how they can stay connected, they can stay positive, and these very important points that you're also bringing to our attention. We may not be aware of that, the viewers may not be aware of that. So how important is conducting counseling sessions online in these days, and how can one really make sure that they tune into that?
Yeah, actually this is much more important for people who are already suffering from anxiety or depression, and they are on treatment, and during this period of stress and because of the situation, their sleep may also be disturbed. So there can be actually an exacerbation of their anxiety and depression. So it's very important for these patients to actually talk to their doctors, and they may require modification in their treatment and some kind of counseling, you know. So that is, I think, very, very important, you know. Even for people otherwise, I think this period is quite stressful. So we should do some things regularly during this period to keep ourselves relaxed. And as I mentioned to you, you know, the deep breathing exercises are very, very important, you know, which
the pranayam and all.
That is important, you know, in this.
Okay. Dr. Agrawal, your advice here, you know, because people at home, they may tend to get a bit discouraged. So, so how can one really stay motivated in eating healthy? Binge watching is something that Dr. Suri also talked about a short while back, and, you know, one can fall into that trap of binge eating, you know, when we are at home, we are just in a relaxed mode, we are watching TV, we are with the family, so that may happen with a number of people. So how can one really make sure that they stay motivated and encouraged on a daily basis, that there is no gym that they have to go to, there is no fitness studio that they have to go to, but they have to stay at home, they have to make sure that they're eating healthy, they're eating citrus fruits, they are, you know, they are not consuming a lot of junk food, but they're eating healthy, a diet full of protein, iron, calcium. So the important underlying factor here is to stay motivated. And what would you say about that?
I think we all need to inculcate some self-discipline in ourselves. It can only be done by self-discipline. And we have to, in a family, we have to support each other and put checks and balances. We must make a routine and follow a schedule as far as possible. So that is going to go a long way in doing this. We need a little willpower that has to be brought in, and to eat healthy, work out regularly, and follow a certain schedule. So as per our likes and the environment, our situation, if we make those schedules and follow it, I'm sure it will go a long way in making life easier during this lockdown period.
And how important would you say, Dr. Agrawal, staying in touch with a physical fitness expert online, or even, you know, listening to these meditation sessions, counseling sessions, because we often do what we hear and what we read. So, you know, would you say that this would help people to stay motivated, because in that sense they would be connected to these teachings and advices that are being sent out, that are being given every day?
Definitely, definitely. It goes a long way. And I'm very, very happy that Doordarshan and all other channels, they have improvised and brought in all these things immediately. Once we started lockdown, we started having sessions on fitness, things like you can do at home, exercises that you can do at home, yoga activities that you can do at home. Once a little time passed, we realized that there were some people who were developing little psychological problems because of staying alone. You started having sessions online or on TV channels for these people. You've got these regular sessions where people can clarify their doubts.
For the benefit of our viewers, ma'am, if you could also share with us where people can also tune in to these live counseling sessions, if you have the address, if you know the URL. Okay, all right. We'll share that with the viewers in some time. Yet, but yes, ma'am, please continue with your point.
So I think that has helped a lot. Now, there are many people who are used to watching TV serials. Now they are all blocked. But they brought in the epics, the older ones, which people are watching, and utilizing that same time for that. So you have all improvised and added to relaxation, added to bringing in relaxation in people's lives. Otherwise, initially it was all, what will we do? Now all serials have stopped, so what to do? So things have changed, and it has benefited many people.
Okay. All right, Dr. Suri, you know, people, how important or what can people staying alone? Of course, people who are staying with a family is a blessing for those people in these times, because you can spend that extra time with your family, with your parents, with your grandparents, which something that, you know, people could not do earlier when they were working. So it's a blessing for them. But people who are staying alone, people, you know, people, middle-aged people, or even some elderly people across the country who are staying alone, how should they really be coping with these times, and how should one make them understand the gravity of the situation, and how to keep them busy and, you know, and occupied?
Yeah, this is not only people who are staying alone, and in fact you have not mentioned about people in quarantine, you know,
Yeah.
those who are staying
I
in these,
often think about them.
so it's really very difficult, you know, staying in an totally
Yeah.
different environment, you know, where you don't have the comfort of home,
Absolutely.
the type of food you want to eat, the type of entertainment things you want to do. So these are really very difficult. I think the only way we can overcome is by staying connected, you know, because luckily we have so many means of connecting with people, and if we connect with one another, talk about things of common interest, and if something which we have not been able to do for a long time due to our busy schedule, I think this is the time, you know, we can actually reconnect, re-explore, and actually go into the new dimensions of our life.
Absolutely. Explore the unexplored is something that, you know, that we can do at this critical time is very important. And earlier on you were also mentioning about how important you know, is vitamin D, because that's the core in forming immunity, Dr. Suri, and you know, if you could just elaborate on that as well.
See, if you look into our immune system, so it is a very complex system. At the final stage of our immunity, the calciferol or the vitamin D is an important component, and that is why, you know, if you are aware of our old ways of treatment, when people with tuberculosis, I would say.
And what time of the day should it be? Because, you know, there are many studies around that. Should it be early morning? Should it be around noon? Of course, it's getting hotter now, so it can't be around noon. So what time would you suggest?
It's with the rising sun in the early morning time. Those at least an exposure of about 40 to 50 minutes of exposure if you can have. So this helps in building up of our immunity. So old sanatoriums, you know, where patients with tuberculosis, when we did not have any treatment, we used to send these people to hills and sanatorium, and where they would get good food and lot of sunshine.
All right, Dr. Suri. In fact, we're getting this live media briefing by Dr. Harshvardhan, the Health Minister of the country, addressing the media. Let's go across live.
का ब्लड हम उनके घर के पास ही में लें, या उनको घर से अपनी तरफ से सुविधा क्रिएट करके बुलाकर उनका ब्लड डोनेशन हम अपने ब्लड बैंक्स में कराएं, ताकि हमारे थैलेसीमिया जैसे और भी बहुत सारी रेयर डिजीज़ के जो भी ऐसे मरीज़ हैं जिनको कि रेगुलर ब्लड डोनेशन की ज़रूरत है, उनको कोई कठिनाई नहीं होनी चाहिए। इस दिशा में हम व्यक्तिगत तौर पर भी मॉनिटरिंग कर रहे हैं, और हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे सभी स्वास्थ्य मंत्री भी अपने अपने प्रदेशों में इस विषय को निश्चित रूप से गंभीरता से मॉनिटर करें। आप जानते हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इस क्राइसिस के पीरियड में स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय के लिए आने वाले समय में विशेष रूप से सुविधाओं को और ज़्यादा स्ट्रेंथन करने की दृष्टि से कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई को और मजबूत करने के लिए 15,000 करोड़ रुपए का एक हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट के लिए पैकेज उसकी घोषणा की थी। मैं ये आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि उसमें से 4,100 करोड़ रुपया ऑलरेडी हम सभी स्टेट्स को रिलीज कर चुके हैं, और हम चाहते हैं कि ये जो हमारा पैसा जो स्टेट्स को दिया गया है, इसके बारे में वैसे तो हमारी जो एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी हैं वंदना गुरानी जी ने, उन्होंने स्टेट्स को डिटेल्ड एक पत्र लिखा है। ये जो भी हमें कोविड से जुड़ी हुई सुविधाएं हैं, चाहे वो नए अस्पताल हैं, चाहे वो नए फैसिलिटीज़ हैं, आईसीयूज़ हैं, वेंटिलेटर्स हैं, ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई है, लैब की स्ट्रेंथनिंग है, और एडिशनल ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, उनका जो है हमें जो भारत सरकार पीपीईज और N95 मास्क इत्यादि आपको उपलब्ध करा रही है, उसके ऊपर भी आपको कुछ और अपने लेवल पर भी स्ट्रेंथन करना चाहते हैं, या कम्युनिटी सर्वेलेंस इत्यादि। इन विषयों को आप जो है निश्चित रूप से फोकस करते हुए इस पैसे का इस्तेमाल करें। पैसे के कारण किसी भी प्रकार से कोविड के खिलाफ जो हमारी जंग है उसमें कोई कमी नहीं आनी चाहिए, ऐसा हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी की भी इच्छा भी है, उनका निर्देश भी है और उसके अनुरूप उन्होंने हमें हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट को सहायता भी की है। अभी कई जगह पर आईसीएमआर ने जो लैब्स क्रिएट की है उनका शायद उस प्रकार से यूटिलाइजेशन नहीं हो रहा है, इसलिए हम ये भी चाहेंगे कि हमें निश्चित रूप से इसके बारे में कहीं भी अगर कोई ऐसी जानकारी है कि भाई कोई आपको लगता है कि वहाँ पर पेशेंट्स क्यों नहीं पहुँच रहे हैं इत्यादि, तो वो हमें जानकारियाँ जो है ये आईसीएमआर को फीडबैक के रूप में आप ज़रूर दें। जो बार बार ये हर प्रकार से बताया भी जा रहा है, आप अपने स्टेट्स में भी ज़रूर लोगों को बड़े पैमाने पे शिक्षित करें कि जो पीपीईज हैं और N95 मास्क हैं, सर्जिकल मास्क हैं, ये अस्पताल के अंदर विशेष परिस्थिति में काम करने वाले मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए हैं और इसके बारे में डिटेल्ड गाइडलाइंस जो है वो हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री की वेबसाइट पे है। मैं इस अवसर पर ये ज़रूर सभी देश के स्वास्थ्य विभाग, उनके मंत्रियों से और उनके सभी अधिकारियों से कहना चाहता हूं कि आप लोग मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर की वेबसाइट को ज़रूर विजिट करा करें। आज की तारीख में करोड़ों लोग उसको विजिट करते हैं क्योंकि हम उसको लगातार दिन में 2 बार अपडेट भी करते हैं। सब प्रकार की डिटेल्ड एडवाइजरीज हेल्थ के ऑफिशियल्स से लेकर हेल्थ वर्कर्स के लिए और साथ में जनता के लिए, पब्लिक के लिए, अस्पताल में और दूसरे सिस्टम्स में काम करने वाले सब तरह के लोगों के लिए सब तरह की वहाँ पर डिटेल्ड गाइडलाइंस और एडवाइजरीज हैं जिनको निश्चित रूप से फॉलो करना चाहिए। अभी हमें पिछले दिनों सुझाव आया कि जो कोविड से जो दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण मौतें हो रही हैं उनका जो क्रीमेशन इत्यादि का कार्यक्रम होता है उसके बारे में जो गाइडलाइंस है वो भी क्रीमेशन ग्राउंड्स के ऊपर जो है डिस्प्ले होनी चाहिए, ऐसा सुझाव मिला मुझे कई जगह से। तो मुझे लगा कि ये सुझाव भी आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहिए, ये स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स इसके बारे में, क्योंकि लास्ट मोमेंट पे बहुत सारे लोग कंफ्यूज्ड रहते हैं, उनको समझ में नहीं आता कि इसके बारे में कैसे हमको फॉलो अप करना है। पिछले समय में जो होम मेड फेस कवर के बारे में बहुत सारी बातचीत हुई है, इसके बारे में भी अपने अपने स्टेट्स में लोगों को हम स्पष्टता करें कि हर एक व्यक्ति को सर्जिकल मास्क लगाने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है, लेकिन अगर हम अपने मुंह को कपड़े से, रुमाल से, घर के बने मास्क से या किसी भी इंडिजिनस मास्क से कवर करके रखते हैं बाहर जाते समय, तो ये निश्चित रूप से आज के माहौल में उनको कोविड से सुरक्षा प्रदान कर सकता है। और अभी कुछ स्थानों से हम लोगों को अभी भी ये 1-2 स्थानों से इस प्रकार की बहुत ज़्यादा शिकायतें आ रही हैं कि वहाँ से भारत सरकार को ठीक प्रकार से जो रिपोर्ट्स हैं उनको नहीं भेजा जा रहा है। मैं विशेष रूप से बिना अभी उन स्टेट्स का नाम लिए मैं चाहता हूँ कि ये सब हमारे राष्ट्र हित में है, सारी जानकारियाँ देश के साथ शेयर करना बहुत ज़रूरी है और मिलकर अगर हम सब इस कोविड के खिलाफ जंग नहीं लड़ेंगे, क्योंकि कोविड की कोई बाउंड्री नहीं है, उसका कोई स्टेट्स का पैरामीटर नहीं है, उसका कोई देश का पैरामीटर नहीं है। वो चाइना से चला था और दुनिया के 212 देशों में पहुंच गया है। इसलिए इसको हम किसी भी तरह से कंपार्टमेंटलाइज करके ना देखें, इसको सारे देश को एक समान, एक क्राइटेरिया से, एक पैरामीटर से सब लोग मिलकर इसके खिलाफ जंग लड़े। मैं हृदय से बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं। मैं जब सभी स्वास्थ्य मंत्रियों से बात करता हूं तो मुझे खुद महसूस होता है कि उनका कोविड के खिलाफ जंग में कितने हृदय से, मन से, आत्मा से वो दिन और रात परिश्रम कर रहे हैं, छोटी छोटी बातों की परवाह कर रहे हैं। इस जंग में, इस लॉकडाउन में हम लोग काफ़ी हद तक स्थिति को कंट्रोल करने में सफल हुए हैं। कुछ कुछ स्टेट्स के अंदर ज़रूर बीमारी थोड़ा सा असाधारण गति से आगे बढ़ रही है, लेकिन अभी लॉकडाउन के हम तीसरे सप्ताह में हैं। साधारणतः जो एपिडेमियोलॉजिस्ट का भी कहना है कि 2 से 4 सप्ताह तो इसके कर्व को फ्लैट होने में नॉर्मली भी लगता है। इसलिए हम जरा भी धैर्य को ना खोएं, परिश्रम के में कोई कमी ना रखें। जो टेक्निकल एंगल से जितने भी हमारे इनपुट्स हो सकते हैं उसको गहराई से हम करें, हर विषय पर पैनी निगाह रखें। और अब जबकि देश के अंदर स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय, एनसीडीसी और सब प्रकार के एक्सपर्ट्स के माध्यम से हॉट स्पॉट्स को लोकेट कर दिया गया है, लेबल कर दिया गया, उनके लिए स्ट्रैटेजीज डिफाइन कर दी गई हैं, डीएम्स को उसका इंचार्ज बना दिया गया है, हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट के ऑफिशियल्स उसके साथ जुड़े हैं, स्वयं भारत के कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी सभी डीएम्स के साथ वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग कर रहे हैं, प्रधानमंत्री जी सभी चीफ मिनिस्टर्स के साथ लगातार वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग कर रहे हैं। तो हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि हम सब मिलकर आने वाले समय के अंदर इस जंग में पूरी सफलता प्राप्त करेंगे। हमारे साइंस डिपार्टमेंट के माध्यम से हम वैक्सीन की खोज में भी लगे हैं। WHO के साथ मिलकर दुनिया के कुछ देश एक सॉलिडेरिटी ट्रायल वैक्सीन्स के लिए कर रहे हैं। आपको खुशी होगी कि भारत ने भी इस वायरस को आइसोलेट कर लिया और हम भी उस वैक्सीन को बनाने की दौड़ में जो है सारे दुनिया के साथ काम कर रहे हैं। और भी साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में इसके बारे में बहुत सारा काम हो रहा है। ये जब तक वैक्सीन जो कि एक व्यक्ति की मदद करेगी वो जब तक दुनिया के लिए उपलब्ध होगी तब तक मेरा ये मानना है कि सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग और आज के परिप्रेक्ष्य में लॉकडाउन जैसी प्रक्रिया, ये दोनों ही मिलकर हमारे देश के लिए और दुनिया के लिए सबसे बड़ी सोशल वैक्सीन है। इसके बारे में हम जितना ज़्यादा लोगों को एम्फेसाइज करेंगे उतना आवश्यक है। ज़्यादातर लोगों ने लॉकडाउन को सफलतापूर्वक उसमें कोऑपरेट किया है, लेकिन अभी भी हर स्टेट में से टेलीविज़न के ऊपर ऐसे बहुत सारे सीन्स दिखाई देते हैं जहां ऐसा लगता है कि शायद लॉकडाउन की गाइडलाइंस को, लॉकडाउन के नियमों को, लॉकडाउन की जो वास्तव में स्पिरिट है उसका आदर लोग नहीं कर रहे या उसको समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं। मैं स्वास्थ्य मंत्रियों से विशेष रूप से ये निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि आप अपने स्टेट में लॉकडाउन की स्पिरिट का वास्तव में 100% आदर हो रहा है, इसको सुनिश्चित करें। अगर इसके अंदर हमारे जो है कमी रहेगी तो मुझे लगता है कि हमें हमारे बीमारी के ऊपर इस जंग में विजय प्राप्त करने में बहुत दिक्कत आ सकती है। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि आप सब इस मीटिंग के अंदर हमारी वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस में संक्षेप में अपनी बात को हमें निश्चित रूप से हाईलाइट करेंगे। ऐसी बातें जो आप सोचते हैं कि जिनको बताना वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस में ज़रूरी है। वैसे तो बाकी बहुत सारी रिपोर्ट्स तो आप देते रहते हैं, लेकिन ऐसी चीज़ें भी हो सकती है जो दूसरे हमारे जो साथी स्वास्थ्य मंत्री हैं उनके लिए भी यूज़फुल हो सकती है। मैंने बहुत सारे स्टेट्स की बहुत सारी गुड प्रैक्टिसेस को अध्ययन किया। सबका यहाँ उल्लेख करना शायद समय के कारण संभव नहीं होगा, लेकिन सबसे मेरा अनुरोध है कि बाकी स्टेट्स की गुड प्रैक्टिसेस को भी आप अपने अपने स्टेट्स में लागू करेंगे तो हमें इस लड़ाई के अंदर और अच्छी सफलता मिलेगी। मैं अपनी स्वास्थ्य सचिव प्रीति सूदन जी से भी कहूँगा कि कोई भी 2-4 बातें जो उनको लगता है कि जो यद्यपि वो रोज़ वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग करके हर दूसरे तीसरे दिन बातचीत करती हैं सबसे अधिकारियों से, लेकिन कोई चीज़ें अगर उनको लगता है कि इस समय हाईलाइट होनी चाहिए जो स्वास्थ्य मंत्रियों के भी ध्यान में आ जाएं, तो मुझे लगता है कि वो उसको करें।
Ministers of the states, my colleagues, thank you very much sir. You have very comprehensively covered everything हो रहा है। और बांग्लादेश से खबर ये मिली है कि डेंगू बहुत ज़्यादा वहाँ पर आउटब्रेक हुआ है। सो ऑफ कोर्स हम लोग सब कोविड में लगे हुए हैं, मगर प्लीज़ स्पेशली वहाँ के आसपास की स्टेट्स एंड ऑल्सो डेंगू एंडेमिक स्टेट्स प्लीज़ थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखिएगा। एंड हमारे जो कंसर्न जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी है वो आपके साथ इन टच रहेंगी। तो ये इसको हमें याद रखना है. जस्ट वांटेड टू मेंशन. बाकी सर ने प्रेग्नेंट विमेन, न्यूबॉर्न, थैलेसीमिया, जो टीबी पेशेंट्स या डायलिसिस जिनको चाहिए वो सर्विसेज मेंटेन करनी ही हमें पड़ेंगी. उसका लेटर भी मैंने आपको अलग से लिखा है, तो व्यवस्था कैसे करनी है वो भी आपको लिखा है, तो ज़रा आप उस पर ध्यान रख लीजिएगा. सर मैं सिर्फ ये निवेदन करना चाहूँगी कि अगर हम देखते हैं तो महाराष्ट्र, तमिलनाडु, दिल्ली, राजस्थान, तेलंगाना, उत्तर प्रदेश, केरला, आंध्र प्रदेश, मध्य प्रदेश और गुजरात, ये हमारी इन दैट डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर दैट आई हैव रेड, ये स्टेट्स हैं जहां से हमें ज़्यादा केसेस आ रहे हैं. ऑफ कोर्स महाराष्ट्र में तो 1364 केसेस और डेथ्स भी कल एक ही दिन में 25 डेथ्स भी रिपोर्ट हुई हैं. So these are areas of concern. I know that states are working terribly hard, but मैं ये सिर्फ कहना चाहूँगी कि थोड़ा सा हमें सोचने के देखना है. मैं चीफ सेक्रेटरी से और हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी से भी बात करती ही रहती हूँ. मुझे मालूम है कि बहुत मेहनत चल रही है वहाँ पे. अगर हमारी तरफ से कोई मदद चाहिए, मैंने एक्चुअली डीडीजी लेवल टीम्स भी भेजी हैं कुछ स्टेट्स में जहाँ पे हमें लग रहा है कि थोड़ा सा हैंड होल्डिंग शायद अगर करें तो थोड़ी मदद मिले स्टेट्स को. तो अगर कोई भी मदद चाहिए तो प्लीज़ बताइए. और महाराष्ट्र के लिए ये बोलूँगी कि ज़रा प्लीज़ ध्यान से देखिएगा. और एक मैं वेस्ट बंगाल से भी रिक्वेस्ट करूँगी कि जो सारी के केसेस हैं, जो स्पीयर रेस्पिरेटरी डिजीज़ के केसेस नॉन अफेक्टेड एरियाज़ में हैं, उनको भी हम ज़रा देख लें ताकि जो हमारे नॉन अफेक्टेड एरियाज़ हैं उसमें ये ना फैले. सो सर मैं तो यही इतना ही कहना चाहूँगी. सर
इसी ऑर्डर में बुला लीजिए लोगों को जो सबसे ज़्यादा जहाँ है ना केसेस. मेरा सुझाव था कि जहाँ पे अभी हमारे सबसे ज़्यादा प्रभावित हैं जो स्टेट्स, उसको सबसे पहले प्राथमिकता देते हुए हम सभी की बात सुनेंगे. जब तक सबकी बात नहीं सुन लेंगे तब तक इसको हम वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस को समाप्त नहीं करेंगे. तो उस नाते हम चाहते हैं कि सबसे पहले महाराष्ट्र के जो स्वास्थ्य मंत्री हैं उनकी मैं बात सुनना चाहता हूं. राजेश जी अगर वो हैं तो.
नमस्ते. आपका मार्गदर्शन रहता है और आपके मार्गदर्शन और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी पे मैंने कई उनके वीसीज भी अटेंड किए हैं. तो आप ही के मार्गदर्शन काम शुरू है और उसके लिए हम आपका बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं. खास तौर पर कहना चाहूँगा क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो केसेस बढ़ रही है, इंसिडेंसेस ऐसे घटी है यहाँ पर कुछ प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में डॉक्टर और नर्सेस इन्फेक्ट हुए हैं और इसीलिए उनका कहना है कि हमारे को पीपीई किट्स यानी गियर्स एंड गार्ड्स फॉर देयर सेफ्टी वो बहुत ही जरूरी है. N95 मास्क बहुत जरूरी है. तो ये जो दो चीजें हैं उसकी मांगे हमने रखी है. करीबन 3 लाख हमने पीपीई किट्स की मांग रखी है और 8 लाख के दरमियान हमने हमारे N95 मास्क की भी मांग रखी है. 1 अप्रैल को हमने लेटर दिया है. तो मैं डॉक्टर साहब इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा कि आप अगर उसको शेड्यूल कर सकते हैं कि हमारे को जितना जैसा आप ये जो भी हमारी जो क्वांटिटी है वो किस हिसाब से आप देंगे तो हमारे स्टेट में भी हम कुछ प्रोक्योरमेंट करने के लिए फिर उसके अनुसार हम नियोजन कर सकते हैं. तो मुझे लगता है उसका हमारे को एक टाइम टेबल अगर मिलता है या कितना क्वांटिटी मिल सकेगा, क्या रहेगा, तो हमारे को हमारे लेवल पे भी कुछ नियोजन कर पाएंगे. तो वो एक बहुत जरूरी मुझे लगता है ये है. और ज्यादा से ज्यादा.
So that was the media briefing there by the Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan. He was talking about the sweeping measures that are being taken across the country in its fight against COVID-19, the spread and stopping that spread. He was talking about important adhering to the lockdown. Well, that's very critical in the fight against COVID-19, and talking about, in fact, also the efforts that are on in various states across the country. In fact, we have more inputs coming in, where a meeting of the empowered group of officers to tackle the challenges emerging as a result of spread of COVID-19 was held today under the chairmanship of Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, and the meeting was the latest in a series of periodic reviews at various levels by the Prime Minister's office to monitor the ongoing efforts to counter the impact of the pandemic. while the issues related to supply chain and logistics management for availability of necessary items, efforts undertaken for the benefit of stakeholders involved, steps to assist farmers harvest with their produce while maintaining social distancing, further confidence building measures necessary needed to ensure the percolation of the guidelines of the Home Affairs Ministry to the ground level. And all the chief secretaries of the states issued instructions to arrange for shelter for the vulnerable groups like the migrants and the homeless, and centre is in constant touch with the states, and the district level monitoring is also being undertaken. While the production of the protective equipment there is also being ramped up, capacity building for healthcare personnel is also being ensured by the NGOs, and civil society groups are also being mobilized. The progress of rollout of all the welfare measures through economic relief package under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana has also been reviewed. The principal secretary in that meeting also underlined that data sanctity was important to ensure that the benefits reach out to all the intended beneficiaries, and steps have also been taken to ensure timely information dissemination throughout the country. Well, that is something that was also discussed during that meeting. Let's go across now to our correspondent Sudhakar Das, who's standing by with all the inputs. He's joining us now. Sudhakar, very important meeting that took place there and important measures that were deliberated on.
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए नैन्सी, और बेहद ही महत्वपूर्ण है, और इस महीने में खास तौर से कल प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी राज्यों के मुख्यमंत्रियों के साथ वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए संवाद करेंगे, और उससे पहले एक तरह से प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय ने जो पूरी स्थिति है, क्योंकि ये 11 एम्पावर्ड ग्रुप जो है, जो तमाम तरह की परिस्थितियां सामने आ सकती हैं, जो सारी चुनौतियां हैं, उनके लिए अलग अलग ग्रुप्स बनाए गए, उन तमाम चीजों पर नजर रखने के लिए, फैसले लेने के लिए, और उसका एक तरह से पूरी तरह से रिव्यू किया गया है, और बेहद ही महत्वपूर्ण है। और जैसा आपने जानकारी दी, ना सिर्फ जो पूरी स्थिति, जरूरी सामानों की सप्लाई को लेकर पूरी स्थिति क्या है, जो लगातार केंद्र सरकार की तरफ से, गृह मंत्रालय की तरफ से जो गाइडलाइंस और जो इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए जा रहे हैं, उसको फॉलो किया जा रहा है कि नहीं किया जा रहा है, बल्कि साथ ही साथ जो होमलेस हैं, माइग्रेंट्स हैं, उनके लिए क्या कदम उठाए गए हैं। हार्वेस्ट सीजन आ रहा है, तो उसके लिए किस तरह की तैयारी है, किस तरह से उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया जा रहा है। इसके अलावा प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण पैकेज हो, या फिर साथ ही साथ जो जरूरी जानकारियां हैं लोगों तक, उनकी भाषा में उन तक पहुंच रही है कि नहीं, बिल्कुल आखिरी व्यक्ति तक वो जरूरी जानकारियां पहुंच रही है कि नहीं, उन तमाम चीजों का रिव्यू किया गया। तो कह सकते हैं कि बहुत बड़ी मीटिंग और बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर, और ये लगातार इस तरह की मीटिंग्स की जा रही हैं, और खासतौर से प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय बेहद ही सक्रियता के साथ इन तमाम मामलों पर नजर रख रहा है। और ये एनएनसी मीटिंग इसलिए भी महत्वपूर्ण है, अगर आपको याद होगा, जो ये 11 ग्रुप बनाए गए थे, उसके बारे में भी थोड़ा जानकारी देना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि चाहे मेडिकल इमरजेंसी मैनेजमेंट प्लान हो, हॉस्पिटल्स की क्या अवेलेबिलिटी है, क्वारंटाइन आइसोलेशन फैसिलिटी किस तरह की है, या फिर जो एसेंशियल मेडिकल जो फैसिलिटी, एसेंशियल मेडिकल सप्लाई है, वो किस तरह से चल रही है, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग ट्रेनिंग हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही है, इसके अलावा लॉजिस्टिक मैनेजमेंट किस तरह का, सप्लाई चेन ठीक चल रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा है, टेक्नोलॉजी का भी एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण रोल है। इसकी बात भी की गई है कि डाटा सैंक्टिटी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। इसके अलावा इंफॉर्मेशन लोगों तक पहुंच रही है कि नहीं, कम्युनिकेशन किस तरह के बचाव सुरक्षा की जरूरत है, वो तमाम चीजें पहुंच रही है कि नहीं है, वेलफेयर मेजर्स हो या आर्थिक चीजों को जो इम्प्लीमेंट करने की बात की जा रही है, अब वो सही तरीके से हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, एनजीओ या एज अ सिविल सोसाइटी तमाम लोगों की क्या भूमिका हो सकती है, वो किस तरह से अपनी भूमिका निभा पा रहे हैं, उनको किसी तरह की कोई दिक्कत हो रही है कि नहीं हो, या जो तमाम स्ट्रैटेजी, तो जो 11 ग्रुप थे, बेहद ही महत्वपूर्ण ग्रुप थे। हर स्थिति से, हर तरह के मुद्दों पर नजर रखने के लिए बने हुए थे अलग अलग, और एक डिटेल्ड रिव्यू उन तमाम चीजों का किया गया है, वो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है कह सकते हैं। और आने वाले समय में किस तरह से क्या रणनीति हो सकती है, क्या कुछ जरूरी कदम उठाए जाने की जरूरत है, तो उन तमाम पहलुओं की खासतौर से समीक्षा हुई है। लेकिन एक सेटिस्फैक्शन भी जो इस मीटिंग के दौरान जाहिर किया गया, खासतौर से जो टेस्टिंग प्रोटोकॉल्स है, ये बताया जा रहा है कि करीब 1,46,000 टेस्टिंग हो चुकी है, और हम देख रहे हैं कि लगातार उसके बारे में भी जानकारियां दी जा रही है। एक बहुत बेहद ही महत्वपूर्ण बात थी जो राज्यों से भी कहा गया है, और केंद्र भी इसके लिए कोशिश करेगी, जो इंफॉर्मेशन कम्युनिकेशन है वो पूरे देश में बिल्कुल आखिरी व्यक्ति तक पहुंचे, इसके लिए जो भी उपाय कर रहे हैं वो उपाय किए जाए, वो एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सुझाव दिया। प्रधानमंत्री के जो प्रधान सचिव हैं डॉक्टर पीके मिश्रा, उन्होंने ये भी सुझाव दिया है कि जो गरीब कल्याण योजना है खास तौर से उसके लिए जो तमाम कार्यक्रम चलाए जा रहे हैं, तो डाटा सही जानकारी केंद्र सरकार तक पहुंचे, उसके बारे में डाटा सही तरीके से पहुंचे, इसके बारे में राज्य कोशिश करे, ये एम्पावर्ड ग्रुप राज्यों से बात करे। इसके अलावा उन्होंने पूरा फीडबैक भी लिया, ये भी कहा कि जो एनजीओ खासतौर से जिला स्तर पर काम कर रहे हैं तो एक दूसरे के काम में ओवरलैपिंग ना हो। इसका ये मतलब है कि अगर एक एनजीओ कोई खाना खिलाने का काम कर रहा है तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सभी एनजीओ वही काम कर रहे हैं, तो अलग अलग ग्रुप्स को अलग अलग काम बांटे जा सकते हैं। उसके लिए क्या कोऑर्डिनेशन की व्यवस्था की गई है उसके बारे में भी उन्होंने जानकारी दी। तो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण कह सकते हैं आने वाले समय की रणनीति के लिए और पूरी जो व्यवस्था अभी इस वक्त चुनौतियों से निपटने के लिए जो चल रही है उसके लिए।
Absolutely, Sudhakar. Thanks very much for joining us for the moment and sharing all those details on, of course, that important meeting of the empowered group of officers to tackle the challenges emerging as a result of the spread of COVID-19. Thanks very much. We'll, of course, keep a track of all the news and updates as far as COVID-19 across the country is concerned and the measures, the initiatives that are being taken in its fight against COVID-19. With that, we have come to the end of our show, COVID-19 Doctors Speak, and we would also like to thank all the doctors who joined us on our show this afternoon, Dr. Agrawal, Dr. Suri and Dr. Gupta. Thanks to all of you very much for joining us and sharing your suggestions and advice, and also in fact thanks to all the callers who called in and had your concerns and questions asked. With that, it's a wrap for with all the updates for now. Thanks for being with us.